It's a fresh journal and a fresh year. So fresh and so clean. I love that song. Hey everybody, I am super excited to be setting up my bullet journal for 2019. Now this will not be my only bullet journal in 2019. I filled up 4 and some change for 2018, and those were the Scribbles That Matter journals that had 200 plus pages. This particular journal has, the Archer and Olive has 160 pages, I think, something around that end. This will be my first, it won't be my last, but I'm excited to get this filled out. I did a bunch of thinking about what I did this last year that worked, what didn't work, what do I want to do moving forward, and I'm not perfectly ready yet. Like honestly, I'll never be ready, but I am somewhat ready, and I made a list of the stuff I'm going to put in here based on a lot of the information that I figured out. And the big thing I'm going to be constantly focusing on is function before fanciness. That is going to be kind of the focus, and let's just get into it. The paper is super thick. It's almost cardstock. This particular one is actually not my favorite of all the covers, but it was the only one available when I ordered. If I do get another one of these, I'm going to try and get one of the other covers I like. One of the drawbacks of this notebook compared to, say, the Scribbles That Matter or the Leuchtturm is that this does not have like a key at the beginning. It doesn't have a index page, which is all well and good if you don't care about that and you just want a notebook. But if you are looking for that, you have to set them up yourself. The pages are also not numbered, so that's something I'm going to need to work on as I move into this. And the first thing I want to do is actually just a cover page for the whole year to set what I'm thinking about this year. And it is something that's been on my mind. It is function over fancy. I also apologize if you get noise in the background. My neighbor is still working on their shed, and honestly, I have no other time to film this. I'm using a Kelly Creates small brush pen. I'm not even putting the year. I don't know what year it is. I can put it on the side. Anyway, so this is going to be for my index. Now I know I said I wasn't going to be using an index, but I want to, because when I've had to hunt through my bullet journals to find things, it's been frustrating. I'm like, well, they do have a page for that. It's one of those things that I haven't been using, even though I feel like I should have used it. So that is going to be this situation here. And I'm just gonna give myself 2 pages. I probably am not gonna need 2 pages, but I might as well. Now the real question is going to be, am I going to remember to number my pages as I set up my bullet journal every week? Survey says probably not. Like, I'm trying to add as little fanciness as possible, but I gotta add a drop shadow here or there. I'm using just the gray Tombow. I figure that's the easiest way. So the first real page I'm going to do is my year in pixels. Now I did that this last year, and I could do a tip-in, but I actually realized something. I like copying it over every time I change journals. It helps me reassess basically the last quarter. You know, if it takes me 3 months to fill up a bullet journal, then every 3 months or so when I have to move all of my year in pain over to the next bullet journal, I basically go back over it again, and it's really helpful to take a close look at it as I'm transferring everything over. I'm gonna number these pages. I already just added a little screw up, and I thought that if I just put a little bit of whiteout, I wouldn't notice. I feel like the whiteout just made it worse. Damn it. Oh my god, I just fucked it up even more than I intended. Jeez, of course I did. I can't believe I already did this. You know, I should not care that much, but this just is bothering the shit out of me. Let's fix this. Let's see if we can make this work. Since I was planning on different colors than the ones I did this past year, because the orange and the browns, I know why I picked them, but like they're starting to get to me in the end. I want to pick some different colors, and teal is definitely going to be one of them because I love teal. Figure I'll add my teal kidney sticker. So I've decided I'm going to go with the 3 colors I'm really liking from the new mild liners because I want to just go with colors I like, even if it's to track things I don't like. And now, so that I can say I caught up with it at least once in my life, I am going to put this in the index. Because I'm balancing this with a year where I'm tracking pain and painkillers, I'm going to spend this side putting just a page with my word of the year to focus on that, because every day I have to turn to this page to put in my painkiller usage or whatnot. And because I have to come here every day, right here should be something every day that's going to help me. In the past, it's been like lists and things that I wasn't keeping up with, and it just made me feel guilty. So putting something that I just need to look at and be okay with is a bigger deal. And I might add doodles or something to this as time goes on if I feel like it, but for now I feel like this is a nice little spread. The next page is something I actually am getting from Amanda Rach Lee. Normally I avoid watching other bullet journal videos. I start feeling bad about myself or wondering why I'm not doing what the other people are doing, why am I shit? But I feel like I was pretty solid in what I wanted to be doing, but I still felt like there was something missing. So I was kind of watching some other bullet journal videos, and one thing she did was create a spread for one picture from each month with her Polaroid camera, and I thought, why don't I do that with my sprocket? That way I can pick a picture that I took that month and go back and look at my favorite picture of the month and just have it all in one spot. And this I can come back to in this particular journal. So I'm gonna pull out one of the picture papers so that I can use that as a tracer, and then I will create a spread basically with 12 spots for these pictures. So I'm shamelessly copying that from Amanda. This will also, at the very least, even if I don't get much other memory keeping done during the year, this at the very least will mean that I've got some memory keeping done. I feel like this pen is not drying super fast on this paper, and every time I touch it, it smears somewhere. So it's starting to bug me. I really like this pen though, so I'd be bummed out if it doesn't work great on this paper. There's another screw up. Let's see if I can get a tiny bit of whiteout. We've already seen how well that works. Let's see if I can lift it with my nail. Oh my God, this is like whiteout surgery. All right, I covered it up with white pen because that was not working for me. I guess one of the problems with having such thick paper is I can't see through to the other side to make it easy to copy this layout. I'm gonna drop the number on these and then put them in the index. Look at me, indexing like a fucking pro. Hell yeah. Now I just make sure I get the right page numbers. I have 2 more yearly things I'm gonna put in, and then my year is done, but then I'll get my, a couple of things for my month put in as well. The 2 things are 2 lists, and now remember what I said in one of my previous videos. I am no longer going to be making brainstorming lists and then not putting the information in on camera because I don't use those. I've learned that. What I can do is if I've already got information that I'm gonna put in the list, I can build the list. And so there's 2 lists that I'm going to make, one here and then one on the next page, both for the whole of 2019. Now, of course, they could change, but They're just a starter list, and they both have to do with goals for the year. One is the dates that I am setting aside to work on my power sheets each month, so they're scheduled in advance. They could change. Most of them are Mondays, but if a Monday falls in kind of like a day the kids don't have school, or it just is an awkward time, then I move it to a different day. So most of these dates I think can stay the same, and that way I know they're coming. And then the other list is going to be a list of 12 fruits and vegetables that I want to incorporate. I'll pick one a month. I'm not going to order them per month. I'm just going to pick one each month. Some of them are ones I've had experience with, some aren't. I'm picky though, and some of my favorite fruits and vegetables are going to be off limits to me as I progress in the sadness diet. So I want to make a list of ones that each month I'll focus on one and incorporate it every week or every day or whatever into my food, so that I come up with new recipes and new ways to incorporate it and make a habit to hopefully break through my pickiness. So I'm going to do the veggie list here, and then I'll do the goal setting dates here because that'll go right into January. So here's my list. Notice I've had some of these before. Most of these are not new. Some of them, like asparagus and bell peppers and kale, are ones I vehemently have pushed against, but I'm going, like a lot of the ones I like, I can't keep eating because of the phosphorus or the potassium. These are all things that I can incorporate into my diet, and I should be incorporated into my diet more often, like carrots and green beans. I do eat those on the regular, but the way I eat them is fairly boring, or it's paired with something else, like lots of butter or potatoes. No particular order, but I do have space to write the month next to each one, and some of them will need to be more seasonal than others, like depending on the ones, like summer squash as an example. But I'll get to choose, and I'll have my family help me choose each month because they're gonna have to eat it too. So this page is going to be the dates that I have set for the year, and I want to just draw little things where I can check them off. So that's what I'm gonna do right about meow. Whiteout, my friends. If I had to pick one bullet journal supply that I recommend to everybody, it's whiteout. It has been called into action multiple times today. So here is my setup for this, and I'm just going to add it to the index, and then I am going to do my monthly setup for January, and it's only going to be a couple of things. Again, I apologize for background noise. I'm filming at home. This is fucking regular life, right? So one of the things I wanted to avoid doing, at least for the beginning of the year, is super decorative cover pages, because they weren't serving me any purpose except to, I don't know, feel better about Instagram. But what I would like to do is kick the month off with a page and put in it, for this month I actually do know, and my focus is planning the rest of the year, looking at the rest of the year as a whole. That's going to be my big focus in January. I think this may be my habit each month. I like this idea. Instead of doing some kind of decorative shit and having like a decorative theme for the month, remember what I said, function over fancy. This is functional. This is me thinking about, like, everything I do in January, I want to be kind of in this area, which is kind of the work I've already been doing. like most of the things I'm planning for January, at least in my personal life and in my work life, kind of fall under this category. Now these 2 pages are going to be not unfamiliar. This is going to be my task list for the month, or my intentions list for the month, however you want to put it. I'm only going to put a few things on here. Unlike most of my other lists, this one does get filled up. And as I'm filming this before January actually starts, I can only put a few things on it, but I'll add more to it as the week goes on. One of the things I decided, I was not going to divide it up into church and work and all of those things. I was just going to make a list. This is basically a brain dump of everything I have to get done in January. So like I said, I'll put some of the things I know are going to be on here, but I generally don't fill this in. And this is, again, you can yell at me in the comments all you want, but this is the one list where I do like to wait till the first of the month to actually fill it in, because I don't want to put things on here if I get them done in the next couple of days. You know what I mean? Now I just need to put my challenges here for the month, and I already have them printed out. So I'm just going to cut these out and glue them down. I'm trying to kind of stick with this like centering situation that I've been doing on a lot of these pages. So I'm going to do that with these puppies as well. I'm going to glue them down here, then I'm going to put a border on them or something. Make it look a little less awkward. Now I'm going to stick with my previous way of doing the doodle like this, but my January challenges I am going to do along the lines of my first bullet journal, where it's divided onto, I'm going to do 1-page spread, I think. So that's my spread for the rando doodles. And then to kick my week off, I will draw in my first spread for January, and it will be Tuesday through Sunday. As for a weekly to-do list, I will make that out when I actually get there. So this is my bullet journal setup for 2019 with a little bit of January thrown in. Now I know I said function over fancy, and there is a little bit of fanciness here, but I was trying to kind of keep it really minimal, not minimalist, but just less extra, and choosing when to add it. So I'm satisfied. I think I'm satisfied, at least. At the very least, I feel like I'm coming out on the other side of my bujo existential crisis, although I feel like the next couple of months getting used to it, it's not just this setup, it's going to be how I manage day to day, and that's not something I'm going to be able to show you until I actually start doing it. So the next weekly setup will be on January 10th, and at that point you'll get to see how I did in my first week and a half or so, although to be fair, I will have had surgery in that time, so I'm not sure how much of it I'll actually have done. But over the course of January, I'll continue to update you on everything. If everything goes well, I'll do a plan as you go in February. I'm going to keep you along. This existential crisis is not by any means over, but at the very least, I'm working through it. So in the comments, I would like for you to tell me, what if you were going to do this in January, what would your focus be? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.